nosotros y por inspirar cómo nuestra hotelería puede subir al siguiente nivel. Para terminar esta sesión, contamos ahora con una ponencia que enmarcará todo lo anterior con una visión de futuro. Trends and Predictions for 2025 in the Hospitality Industry. Ella es Joyce Galvao, Vice President of Global Customer Success at Duetto. Please, Joyce, the floor is yours.
Hello, everybody. Oh, and I'll just move these. Oh, my laptop's too big. It is, yeah, it's okay. It's just a little bit too big, so I'll just... Aquí está. Perfect. Okay, and that's my clicker. Okay, fantastic. So, I know that everybody has had a bunch of Spanish speakers, and then I am sorry, here I am speaking to you in English. Yo hablo un poco de español, pero para esta presentación, para que yo pueda hacerla con más fluido, para mí es más fácil que lo haga en inglés. Y I'm very conscious also that I am the last session here, and I'm in between you and the drinks and the parties that come after this evening. So we'll just get on with it. And at the end, of course, whatever information I'm going to give you here, we are going to be able to download this report. So it's all going to be in there for you. So starting, I am Joyce Galvao. I am the Vice President of Customer Success for Duetto. Duetto is a revenue management system and who basically just help you with your pricing and your strategies, as you would know, and then computes all of this data, helps with your forecasting and budgeting and all of that stuff. I have been with Duetto for almost 10 years. Before that, I was a revenue manager too, and I manage hotels all over the world and in different categories, from hotels in cities and in resorts and islands and hostels and you name it. Everything, a little bit of it. So I'm kind of telling my age here, so I hope I still look quite young so you cannot guess so easily. I also wanted to talk about this trends they're shaping 2025 for hotels and resorts. A lot of it, as you're going to see, is going to kind of repeat what others have said today. I think, as we know, artificial intelligence is at the core of it all that we're doing. I think we rely, and all of us here have used ChatGPT for something, whatever it is that we do. It's used also for a bunch of different things, and to help us understand also data. But if I go just very quickly on what we're doing, so volatility and these trends, volatility, economic, all of the political stuff that's happening. We thought the world had gone crazy in 2024 and after the pandemic, but my God, 2025, it's also coming, it's making for a lot of uncertainty. Generational shifts, that's been a lot of gradual change in the way we all behave and the generations that came after ours. So I'll give you a few examples about this because I have 2 grown-up children now, so things have changed a lot for us. And then obviously the increased costs, that it's a concern for a lot of hoteliers when it comes to utilities and all of the operational costs. AI we talked a little bit about. Personalization and guest experience. Ildefonso talked about it, which is very interesting, how we can use AI to support our teams and really empower them to do better for our guests and to create those personalized experiences that will create or allow for better loyalty, for them to want to come back to us and also to share their experience. Because as you've known now, we go anywhere and what do? We document it. We share it, we enjoy it, we put it in our little memory box, and then we move it to the next destination or to the next experience. So it's really important to understand that maybe loyalty is going to come in a very different way. And then evolving revenue metrics. We all talked about RevPAR. If you're a revenue manager for a long, long time, average rate, all of these things. Now we need to start looking at better metrics that will then not only support but reflect how we're looking at profitability. And the power of data, which is pretty much behind all of it. So going down and talk a little bit about volatility, generational shift, and also increased costs. One of our customers from Noble House, which is a company in the US, was one of the people surveyed for this trend report. And one of the things that really concerned a lot of hotels is labor costs and overall operational costs. How we can leverage data, how we can also look at how we staff our hotels, how do we look at looking at forecasted demand and allocate resources in order to mitigate or to look at profitability and not actually be engulfed by what these new changes in the costs are. We're also looking at when our business is coming, looking at optimizing market or market mix. How does it work better? Do we need staffing? How technology comes to play in all of that as well. We're also looking at investment. Although it looks like there's a little bit of gloom and doom and we're going, oh my God, everything is rising, all the costs and the labor and the people that we're hiring. However, what we've also seen is that there is a lot of resilience. And we're coming across and saying, well, a bunch of our customers, and I need to click here, sorry, over 50% of the people that we surveyed that do not have a revenue management system yet are actually talking about investing in a revenue management system this year. And we've also seen that 61% of those that have already a revenue management system are actually increasing their spend in some other sort of technology that will support the decision making and that will make the processes more streamlined and also move towards embracing profitability and actually finding a way to bring all of your commercial departments together so that you're all having the same alignment when it comes to looking at profitability, not just for rooms, but also for other parts of your business. And that we'll go and we'll talk a little bit later as well. On the AI side, like Ildefonso also said, and some others that were over there on the other panel, AI is not a new thing, but it's really evolving, and it's going to be, as we said, it's going to be more evolutionary than revolutionary. It revolutionized already, as Ildefonso mentioned, but now it's time that we're all thinking about how we're going to embrace it. What is the right way to utilize it for our business? In several ways. We can look about how we can look at this vast amount of data, bring it all together, understand what are the actionable insights from it, and then take action and see what the impact is on our revenues and the way we manage our businesses. We're also looking at it to look at personalization as we can empower others to utilize the data to make better decisions, to create these experiences and the different touch points within the digital path of a customer. Because I told you I was going to talk about the generational shift. I have 2 children and then a couple of nieces and nephews. Some are 29 and then some are 22 and then the youngest ones are 15. And when I look at the way that they want to interact with different businesses, not just travel, but the way they interact with different services, the generation of the millennials, of the 29-year-olds, they don't want to talk to anybody. That digital experience is super important. They want to understand what's happening. They want to have something tailored for them. They want to understand also what are you doing that's different for them, that not necessarily meet their expectations, but also exceeds them. They want to be surprised. And they want to do all of this without really giving you a whole lot of information. So how do we do that? It's a little bit difficult. Then you've got the younger ones, the 22-year-olds, that they already started traveling, but they are happy to give you all the information, but they are not going to be loyal. They want to do different things. I remember going on travel with my parents when I was small, and we used to go to the same resort every year, and it was a family thing, and everybody goes, and you do the same thing, and you expect it, and it's great. My children, if I tell them we're going to the same place the following year, they think I'm going crazy, because they can't repeat the same photos on their Instagram accounts. Am I a mad woman? So no. So there are all these different shifts, right, that we need to account for. So AI is really going to help us to actually come and bring together these different pieces of information and try to understand how we utilize it to make our business better. Another thing, there we go. because we think it's the biggest challenge, and it's still there is a little bit of unknown, we're trying to understand also how we can utilize it. I've now just stopped clicking here, so I'm supposed to be clicking in 2 places, so I do apologize. Let's go back to here. There you go. I'm in the right place now, here too. So 47% of the people that we also surveyed understand that although AI is the biggest challenge, it's also very, very important, but we also want to know how it's already impacting our business. And what Jordan Holland, and I put this quote here because I thought it was really interesting, especially from a revenue management perspective, is utilizing this to help us to forecast better, price better, and strategize better. Because volatility is crazy. We make decisions all the time, and we make one decision today, and we put a price out there, and then we are forecasting something, and then something crazy happens. There's one economic change in another country that feeds our business, and then, whoop, everything is out of the window. You go and you need to very quickly react. And by utilizing the power of artificial intelligence, off you go, and it can actually pick up on these trends much quicker than a human can, because it can look through all the news, and it can look at all of the information and bring it all together for you. The impact of AI, it's not something that is about to happen. It is something, again, and I feel like I'm repeating Ildefonso's here all the time, and I'm so mad because he was supposed to come after me, right, not before, but he had another event. So because we are friends and Muse are our partner, here we go. I gave him the slot before. But this is already really happening. You know, dynamic pricing. We already have something that you set a price out there, the market changes, there are different or anomalies in the way that the booking patterns are happening. We need a new price. We need it quick. We need to use automation better. But in order to use automation better, it's very important that we also trust that we're getting the right insights from the data that we're seeing. So dynamic pricing, super important, it's already out there. A lot of us are doing this. Guest personalization, same thing. Do we understand the different touch points? Do we understand what makes it different for a customer? It's not just good to have general amenities for someone to say, hey, come stay with me because I'm just going to give you this. What is truly important for you? At what point can I gather it? Where do I understand what makes it better for this particular customer so I can capture their business and I can capture their interest? Because there is a lot of competition out there. And price is just one part of it that attracts a new customer or a repeating customer or an existing customer. Maximizing occupancy and revenue, again, managing inventories better, managing pricing, understanding the shifts in the marketplace, understanding the shifts in the business mix, trying to really cater for these different segments that we have in our business, and also understanding what are not only the prices, but the important things for them, days of the week, weekends, how we can bring these people, and understanding if there are shifts. Lead time shifts are such a big thing. If we were, like me, someone that was doing revenue management back in 2000 and something, forecasting was easy. Lead times were very good. You knew that certain business would come with 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. Now, it may come with 6, but it also may come with 2. We see hotels shifting to very short lead times. Lots of dynamic pricing happening there. You put all of these things together, and we really believe that the hoteliers that will really embrace AI, there is a lot to learn, so let's not kid ourselves. There's a lot of research to do. But those that will really embrace AI as part of their decision-making will really be ahead of the game here, and will make a huge difference to how they see the profitability of their business moving forward. Again, personalization, I talked a little bit about it, and I tend to be very unscripted in these things, probably why Guasi just throws me at certain things at times, or sometimes she doesn't want me to involve at all. But I think it's better to have a discussion, and I wish that this was a little bit more interactive, because I do like asking questions, but then I would have to make all of you shout. But that said, and again with guest experience, we are seeing this digital transformation that started, not today, started a long time ago, really embraced by the younger generations. And now a lot of the people expect that this digital part of it is very important for the guests to then decide where they go. And we are competing also with great other non-hotel vendors, like Booking.com is a great example. I remember when Booking.com came to be the first time, and then what it has become. And I'm very guilty. I really like booking via Booking.com, but then I'm sure all of us do, and at some point we all go there and look. And they offer and they understand also what these generations want. But we want to make sure that we are also competing well, that we can bring them to understand that we can do things differently too and better by also relying on the AI thing. Profitability. Again, we talked about traditional metrics. Why is everything changing? Because now we are looking at it or taking a more holistic approach, like a 360-degree approach to what profitability will be like. And I know we've talked a lot about this, and then we're still perhaps talking more than what we're doing. But to see these new metrics emerging is very encouraging, because what it also allows us to do is to bring other departments in an organization together. So if you're looking at revenue management, trying to kind of manage the price and manage the demand, we're talking to sales more. We're also understanding how our ancillary revenues make a difference. What can it be from give and take? Do we understand spending better? Do we understand the times that we need to have more spending in other areas of our business? And then by doing this, creating this great alignment with all areas of the business so that we all come together to bring more profit to our hotels. And then like TrevPo is the total revenue per occupied room. If you haven't heard about it, I'm sure you have, but if you haven't, have a look at the report too. And then also looking at gross operating profit. Now we're also looking and saying what is important? What can we bring it to the bottom line? How does it make us more profitable altogether? Not just rooms defending rooms revenue and F&B defending F&B revenue, but coming together to bring it all and understanding when it's more profitable to take a business. And it goes also for, we're not going to talk about this today, about the mice, you know, and how do we utilize spaces in our hotels, which we've seen a lot happening, right, over the time. Just conscious of the time. How we've seen also happening with other organizations, like hotels that utilize space for meeting and events that are not necessarily a boardroom or a room, or hotels that utilize a space for co-working. Or this utilization of all of this space is really, really important too, to then create these opportunities for more revenue generation. Another thing, and another quote, and I know that we're using Noble House a couple of times here, but it's really wanting to, you know, encourage everybody to start looking at total revenue management or total profitability so that we do align. And it makes a huge difference. And what are the opportunities, where they are, and how do we utilize that for good decision making so that we're actually considering all aspects of the business when making those decisions. Now we'll go to data. And I will just try and I apologize if I'm speaking really fast, and if I am, just put your hand up and I will know that I need to slow down. Data is at the center of everything because we collect a lot of data. We collect the data on our guests. We collect data on the way on our business mix. We collect pace data. We collect reservations data. We collect F&B data. We collect spend data. We collect all of this stuff, and it is really hard to know what to do with it. Or actually, let me rephrase it. We know what we want to do with it, but because there is so much of it, how do you sift through it and actually know what is going to give you valuable insight? How is this possible? What can help us to go through all of this? And yes, we have BI tools, but you still need to go, when you chuck everything in the BI tool, you still needed to know what is that you're looking for. You still needed to understand what is it that you want to see. Now imagine that we can combine data, and then I put this 80% amount of, here is the amount of people. I need to see what it is, sorry. I will go. So that's also to do with automation. Now, we can't trust automation unless we can trust the data and the insights that are coming out of the data. So then it's like that, an egg and a chicken thing. Like, what do we do first? So understanding the data is the most important, and it should always be. Now, bringing AI to that and knowing how to write those models and ask the right questions, then we can get the right insights. And by getting the right insights, I'm going to go back to it. By getting the right insights, then we can go and action these. Whether it's in terms of adjusting segmentation. We look at segmentation, and it was when I was at hotels before, you set your segmentation, and it's going to be like that forever, or for a long, long time. And it's really hard to change, because once you have it all in the PMS and you want to change your segmentation, you need to bring people to do things, retrofit, changing, put the data, match the historical data to the new codes that you want to use. It's all very complicated. Not anymore. Segmentation now can be quite fluid. You can do these changes, especially at Duetto, because we have very flexible segmentation. But you can do these changes. So reviewing segmentation is a really big thing. When do you know that this is needed? By going through your data, and with the use of AI, can we identify new trends? Can we identify the shifts that went from one segment to another? We also saw over the course of the years that segments or business that buy certain rates within certain segments don't stay within those. They buy anywhere and everywhere. They are looking for the best deal. They are looking for the best deal for themselves. Even if they are leisure, they are looking for the best deal for their customers, or if they are corporate. We are also seeing that a lot of corporate business is also shifting the way they work with their people. Working from home also, travel for business also stopped during the pandemic. Then it started a little bit, but it's not at the same levels that it was before, because a lot of us work from home, including myself. And we can have all of these hybrid things that change the way we all operate. We love these conferences, but you also have the option of coming here. You can see it here with me. You can do it online. I'm attending another conference next week in London where you can have all of these different options, because you can get all of the information and not necessarily need to be there. So we needed to understand all of those shifts and say, okay, how do I make the adjustments to know that if my corporate segment's not going to be as strong, where am I going to go after the business to make up for this drop? What am I going to do? What is the price sensitivity around there? How do I do all of this research? And how do I utilize time? How do I change processes around the way that I do pricing? How do I change the processes around the way that I attract, group business? If that is coming back, is leisure more, relevant now for some of my hotels too? Because people are really interested in going, price is one thing, but what are the attractions around it for me? Why would I want to be there? So we can look at all of these things and start merging what data can do in so many ways to create these insights. And it's hard to do it just ourselves, because there's so much that is collected. And to finalize it really, I just, and I went really fast, and I'll give everybody about 5 minutes left. But, the report, if you want to see, there's a lot of great information there. You can download it with this QR code, and you can see there's a bunch of things that I spoke about today, a few other things that I talked that is not going to be there. But, we at Duetto, if you are interested, please come and see us. We're over there on the hall 8. And it's been a pleasure to talk to you. And next time, if I am at FITUR, I will make sure that some of it's going to be in Spanish. And then I'll make sure that we'll meet again. And I'm around here, so if anybody wants to speak to me, please, by all means. Thanks so much.